Then this sister says, أحسن الله إليك وإليك. You mentioned that if something stands on its own essence, it is created. I don't understand what stands on its own essence means. Could you please explain? Now, when we spoke about in the previous lesson about what is ascribed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is attributed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-mudaf ila Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we said that things which are ascribed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إن كان هذا المضاف عينا قائما بنفسه فهو مخلوق. If it is something that stands on its own essence, meaning that this thing that we speak about, it can move around freely, it can do what it wants, you don't sort of have to be in control of it, then it is makhluq. So for example, naqatullah, a naqa walks around freely and it stands on its own essence. If it sees water, it can go get water. Abdullah is another example, slave of Allah, stands on its own essence. A masjid stands on its own essence, it's got pillars that it stands on. Yeah? These are all essences, things, physical things that have their own essences. They're not abstract or metaphysical. That being the case, if they're ascribed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then the idafa here we said is idafatu tashrif, an ascription which is one of nobility and honor. However, if that thing which is attributed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala isn't something that stands on its own essence, yeah, we said it is an attribute from the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we mentioned the example, izzatullah, the might of Allah, qudratullah, the ability and power of Allah. And we also mentioned the ilm of Allah, and so on. Hikmatullah, the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and so on. Now,